Hi all, I just want to reflect on a few things, exploring internally about the nature of relating and loving. So I'm driving, so I'm not really going to look at you, but I'm just going to talk, so hopefully you can feel what I'm saying. So one thing I'm picking up is that very, very clearly that love by itself, the feeling of love, is not enough in a relationship. It's obviously the juice and the foundation and the magnetism and the pull of relationship, and absolutely necessary, but it's not enough to carry us through into the fullness of relating together. So why is it not enough? What we need to complement love is a very skillful set of abilities of communication, relational skills, the vehicles that carry love between us from one person to another and back again. So to become highly skilled in our communication, to become highly skilled in our expression, to become highly skilled in owning our own experience and in asking when we need something, respecting each other's space and distance and boundaries and honouring our togetherness. Often what happens is that our pain body from the past, our wounding that often happens when we were very young, we carry through into adultness, and we carry this through into relationships. So we have unresolved mother and father issues, and we project these onto our partners in the hopeful prayer that finally we will be met, we will be seen, somebody will recognize us, will be present with us, will love us, will cherish us in a way that we always wished as children that would be how we were met by our parents. But this creates a great weight and a great tension in the relationship and in the relating, because then we have this expectation field, this anticipation that the other is going to be there to fulfill us. So there's a sense of hopelessness and helplessness in the waiting, in the hoping, in the wishing that the other is going to be our knight in shining armor, or the all-embracing mother, or whatever the energy that was missing in our childhood. We anticipate and expect that from the other. So I feel quite strongly to express this, that I feel that when you get into a relating dynamic with somebody, if you're really serious about deepening connection, core-to-core relationship, heart-to-heart relationship, and like having this beautiful integral relationship in which communication flows so that love can flow more easily, then it's important to set up a few basic guidelines. One of which is the recognition that when we love each other deeply, it will bring up everything that is not love. It will bring up everything that is in shadow, everything that is not yet home. Because love wants to clean the field so more love can become available. So it's like the energy of love that you see in each other is the very fuel that is pushing up into the present awareness these hidden processes, or once hidden processes. And the way they first surface through the body is through very subtle triggers. Suddenly the other person irritates us or upsets us in some way. These unconscious triggers is this movement out. Shadow has been brought up into light. But at this initial stage, we can be quite reactive with it. And in that reactive, volatile stage, we end up projecting and blaming the other person, and really believing the other is the cause of your present distress, instead of recognizing the other as a reflection of an echo of a past wounding. So the first agreement has to be recognizing love will bring up its opposite, will bring up the shadow. Second point is recognizing I am 100% responsible for my experience, for how I experience, for the way I experience, for the way I communicate my experience. It's not about you. It's not personal. You are not doing this to me. I'm doing this to me. I'm doing this to me from my unconscious pain body, which is surfacing and causing current distress. So if I take accountability for myself, the first place I look when I'm triggered is not what did you do to me, is what's happening with me. And the best place to look, first of all, is in the sensing in the body, sensing into what we feel in our tummy, in our physicality, noticing the emotion, noticing any pictures or memories or thoughts or stories, taking responsibility for what's currently activated. And immediately sending love there. Sending love there from your adult self, your adult nurturing self, your inner masculine, inner feminine, offering love to this wounded place inside of you, inviting this place home. And then communicating that to your partner. When you did this, I felt triggered here. This is what's moving in my system. I can take responsibility for the fact that this feeling inside of me belongs to an old pain. Can you support me in this? And then to create a conscious ritual where you actually ask for what you need from the other, which is very different to unconsciously expecting it or demanding it or anticipating it. You consciously request, could you hold my hand right now? Could you tell me you love me? Could you be here for me? Could you hold space for me? What is the thing that you want to hear that meets that place inside of you? And the other person may or may not be able to do it, but learning how to request it is learning how to communicate from what was previously an unconscious reaction and making it a conscious response. This also engages your partner to be on the same page with you, to support you in this healing process of coming back home. The thing is, when we unconsciously expect stuff from other people, we pull on them. It's like our unconscious demand, our need, creates a whole field of energy that our partners can feel, consciously or unconsciously. They can sense it. They can sense that something's not quite integral here, something's not quite home here, and can react to that. So as we start to take responsibility for what we're projecting out into the world and pull it back in and see where it's coming from, sending love there, and then if you are with a partner, to clearly request to see if you can meet that need from the outside as well. This helps re-imprint, starts to weave in a new story into the fabric of your being. And the more you get these new impressions from presence, from conscious presence, from choice, the more we start to feel home, relaxed, loved, seen, welcomed. We come more and more into presence. And the more present we are, the less we pull upon our partners, the less need is moving, the less we get reactive, the less we activate, the less we project. So what becomes available is this tremendous space of open, flowing energy in which love can move easily. This dynamic of expression moves and flows with grace. So this uninterrupted flow of love moving through these very skillful communication vehicles. So we can express what we feel, what we want, what we desire, what we see, what we're grateful for, what we acknowledge the other person for. And this creates a tremendous, tremendous depth in relating. This core-to-core relating, heart-open relating, conscious relating, aware relating. It's beautiful. So blessings upon all of us, because this is not just about having a good relationship. This is about having a great relationship with the whole of existence. In some ways, our personal relationships in twos or multiplicities are our training ground. That's our ninja warrior martial art, where we hone our skills in loving, relating, and communicating. And then very naturally, these skills and love spread out and pour out into every atom of your existence. And we discover that we've actually become very good at relating with everything. So this unconditional self-regard, this unconditional self-compassion, kindness, generosity spills out into our relating with others and relating with life, with the world, with existence, with God, Goddess, with all things, with great mystery. So this is actually about our existential relationship. It's much, much bigger, but the small reflects the big reflects the small. So whichever place you're in to start this training, even if you're completely single or whatever that might mean, how could anyone be single without a relationship, since everything is in relationship? that sensation of like training ourselves to communicate with ourselves clearly, with others clearly, with love, affection, tenderness, wisdom. Blessings upon all of us. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love and wisdom, clarity and beautiful, crystal clear, integral communication.